Yeah, what's going on, Aaron? I'm kind of in the process of sorting stuff out. How you doing? How you doing, Torin? Hang on a sec. I'm just sorting my camera out, guys. Give me a second. How's it going, boys? Yeah, the Wi-Fi here is caked up. I wasn't able to get on yesterday as well. There was a really big storm here, and just everything went mad. How we doing? Good to see you back, Sniff, as well. Yeah, for some reason I don't know what happened. I connected it like I usually did through Restream, but there's no like live alert or anything like that. Nothing came up in the notifications or anything. Strange. It's strange. I was back in the dark ages there for an entire 24 hours. Like no internet, no anything. I'm lucky. I'm lucky I had a few books with me, or I would have been bored to fucking death, mate. Yeah, the card last night was good. It was a bit up and down. I mean, my picks weren't good. I got pretty much everything wrong. Uh, you get cards like that from time to time. It was overall like an entertaining card. Like there were some performances that really stood out. Like I still feel bad for poor like Li Jingliang. Oh yeah, it's Doraemon. My son's really into this cartoon, so I sometimes just simp out for him and wear stuff that he likes. Like I've got a couple of like Transformers T-shirts and not actual Transformers, not some you know girl with a dick or female. You know what I'm saying? Actual Transformers. Um, yeah. No, it was a very entertaining card. I'm like I said, I'm still feeling pretty bad for Li Jingliang. Like the way he got cracked was bad. Yeah, really bad. I'm obviously happy that Drakus won. But other than that, like I said, there were loads of surprises. I thought Kai Kara France was gonna lose. I did think that Tuivasa would lose, so that wasn't a surprise. But no, I didn't think Dan. I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think the Dan Hooker fight was a robbery, but I don't think he won. But I thought the Kalibao one was really bad as well. I thought Kalibao really badly won. So it was a good card, but robots that meet the queer eye exactly. You won money on Ty losing, Dan Hooker winning, and predicted DDP to get really Lee versus Perry in BKFC. I don't think we can do anything else to Lee. I feel really bad for him. The way he got taken out on Saturday night was horrific to watch. The replay made it sound even worse as well. Like the connection was terrible. The Kai one doesn't surprise me because I think the Ursig hype has been a bit strange. How you doing, Shai? I think people have been glazing what's Ursig a little bit too much. I mean, the guy beat what's his most notable win? That fucking Matt Schnell. I think people went too far with that guy, and Kai Kara France is very good. But I was very surprised by the Hooker one, and I don't think he won. I mean, it was a great fight. He chatted his way through, but he lost. He lost 2 rounds to one pretty clearly to me. But the Joshua Kaliba one was the worst one of the night. The worst one of the night. How you doing, Andy? I don't even know. I don't even know what's on the US 306. I got no idea. Is 306 the? It's not. Isn't 307 the sphere? Yes. Yeah, it ain't great. It could be worse. It could be worse. Like, to be fair, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Ode Osborne is on the main card. I don't know whose idea was that. How you doing, How you doing, Northy, bro? Free Howie. Yeah, Hooker was unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know what Ode Osborne's doing on the main card for 306, but generally, other than that, I think it's good matchmaking. I think rather than just go for name value this time, they try to actually match up what's going to be good fights, and I'd rather that they did that because trying to match up names has not gone well for them this year. Like for example, Ribovics and Zellhuber are going to throw down. That's going to be a good fight. Ortega and Lopez are going to throw down. We kind of have to get that women's title fight out of the way, and I think O'Malley and Devashvili will be good as well. Good to see you, Crystal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm hoping that my internet holds out. Surviving. How's the tooth, brother? I'm hoping that the internet holds out. I have my concerns. Like the fact that I set up and it didn't give it any indication that I was here is troubling to me. At least people managed to find me. Literally, when I saw that nothing was popping up, I was like, yeah, I ain't getting anybody turning up tonight. Or should I say this morning? How you doing, Jay Leon Love? Why did so many people pick Santos? It's always the same thing. Um, I was not so. I don't think she's that good as well. I was not surprised. I was not surprised that she lost. Again, it's these glazing people when they've had very like shit wins. What country are you in? I'm in Manila, so I'm in the Philippines right now. Although I wish I was at home, because whenever I come here, I always seem to have a shit time. I don't know why I keep coming back. I read that fight night in China. When's the fight night in China supposed to happen? I assume it's by the end of the year. Frankie, I like your new name. I appreciate that, Andy. Did you say the character was Doraemon? Yeah, it's from that cartoon Doraemon. I've never watched it, but my son's bang on it. I watch movies of Asian cartoons. How you doing, John Dong? I haven't seen you here before. Good to see you here, lad. Izzy should retire. I thought he was going to retire, and I think he's talking shit as well. I think he genuinely thought about it, and I think when Drickers turned to him and was like, "Oh, if you're going to retire, brother, good," I think he changed his mind. I think he was genuinely going to quit. By the way, a quick question: yeah, has anyone seen that? Has anyone seen that? Oh, what's that movie that came out recently? Mad Max. Has anyone seen that Mad Max movie? I watched it last night. I didn't understand a fucking thing that was going on. Most confusing movie I've ever seen in my life. Thanks for stopping by, John Dong. I really appreciate it. Sick name as well, bro. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing Izzy versus Yuri, but it means that Yuri's gonna have to go down to middleweight, and I don't really like him down there. How you doing, MMA plug? Big shout out to you, bro. Haven't been around for a while. I've had some technical difficulties over here in Manila. Had a really bad storm yesterday, so I couldn't get online. But I just barely managed to watch the card. Yeah, I was really impressed with Carlos Pratt as well. You need to watch Mad Max Fury Road to understand it. Right, that makes sense. Because I didn't fucking understand a single word about it. I didn't know what was going on. It just seemed to me like a lot of people who were just screaming and blowing each other up for 2.5 hours. That's what it felt like to me. But for some reason, I couldn't take my eyes off it. Like, I had no idea what was going on or who anyone was, but I couldn't turn it off. I literally sat through the whole thing. But I will watch the one before then. I thought I had watched it. We're just talking about some of the highlights from yesterday's card and what Izzy should do next and what Dricker should do next. You know, the kind of usual stuff. I want to see Izzy at 205 fighting Jamal Hill. I wouldn't mind seeing Izzy at 205 either. He should pull a cheeky one and just go for the Alex Pereira fight again, but he won't. Why am I in Manila? So random. Um, it is kind of random. It is kind of random. It's not for work. I just had a little bit of time on my hands. My plan was to go back to Thailand, but then like I went there recently, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll go somewhere else. And I had a little bit of time on my hands, so I thought, why not? But I'm deeply regretting it. It's one of the best action movies. It's like John Wick, pure entertainment with no real depth. I think that's a very fair way of summarizing it. The confusing thing for me is like everyone's blowing each other up. I don't know if there are sides or what's going on. But like I said, maybe you're right. Maybe if I watched the one before it, it would be easier to understand. How would 2016 Yoel Romero do in the current middleweight division? He'd do as shit as he did then. Yoel Romero is the most overrated gas bag I've ever seen in my life. Yoel Romero was never good. He was boring to watch, and he was slow. He wouldn't pull the trigger. Yoel Romero always had the hype because he looked like a fucking lab experiment. But Yoel Romero was never that good a fighter, and I think what we've seen retrospectively from him, he's basically the same guy. He's basically the same guy as he was back then. He's a fucking lab experiment. Did you see the Newcastle game? I did. I was not happy. We didn't play very well, but we won. We won with 10 men, so I'm happy. I'm happy about that, I guess. But I thought the sending off was a bit of a joke. Have you seen the original Mad Max with Mel Gibson? I have. I love the original Mad Max films. Yeah, Yoel Romero's rubbish. You're damn right. Are you going to leave early? I'm considering it. I'm supposed to stay until Saturday, but I don't know if I'm going to. I might just go home. I might just book another flight and go home. Because for some reason, whenever I get here, something happens. I either have a bad traveling experience, or I get sick, or the internet blocks out. Something always happens when I come here. Whereas when I go to Thailand, it's just awesome. So this might be the last time that I come here. Perhaps. More than likely. I always regret coming to Manila. Always. DDP is the improved version of Vittori. That's not a bad shout at all. DDP is not good at fighting. I mean, from a technical standpoint. When I was watching him last night, I was thinking, he's going to get chinned. He's going to get chinned. Like the whole time I'm thinking, he's getting splattered any minute. And somehow, I mean, the guy is unbelievably tough. Like some of those body shots that he took, it's weird, yeah, because I felt like he was getting hurt a lot more in the fight than Izzy was, but that he was winning the fight up until that point. I had him 2-1 up, which was just bizarre. Like, he was somehow winning the fight by just chatting his way through. He's unbelievable. Never put Izzy and Silver in the same conversation. Bro, for me, they were never in the same conversation. Silver's on Goat Mountain and Israel Adesanya. The thing is, yeah, I know I'm an Israel Adesanya hater. I do acknowledge the fact that he is a good fighter, but he's not top 10. Silver's top 4. He's awkward. He's very, very awkward. And the thing is, yeah, he's tough. I don't know how those shots were landing. I don't know how those overhands were landing. Crazy. He's a unit. He is. He's unbelievable. And it's the takedowns that really make a difference with this guy. Because nobody at middleweight has like really, really strong wrestling. Even the likes of like Whitaker and people like that, they're not that good at wrestling. Izzy's never faced somebody who can take people down like that. And he just doesn't know when to quit. Probably not going to happen, but Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway for the BMF would be crazy. I think it would be very harsh of them to give that to Max Holloway. It would be a great fight, though. I mean, nobody would look at that on paper and say, shit fight, but I just think Max Holloway deserves more. Max Holloway should be fighting for some kind of title for his next one. He should either be fighting at 145 or 155 for the belt, in my opinion. He's on dog hill, literally. But I do like that, though. I mean, John Dong, nobody's going to argue with the fact that it would be a good fight. How you doing, Sven? What's good, my man? He was almost 39 when he finally lost it. It was because he was taunting Weidman with his hands down. Anderson Silva he's just one of the best. He's one of the best fighters of all time. Like there are people that have him number one on their GOAT list, and I don't even argue with them. I don't argue with that. Like I don't think he's number one for me. Mighty Mouse is the clear number one to me in terms of skill set. How he get things done, obviously the longevity and the fact that he did it in different organizations and he's done it in BJJ as well. That's why I've got Mighty Mouse as like the. But people that say Anderson Silva, I'm not going to argue with you. People that say John Jones, I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah, the Izzy bias is crazy. I don't know what their issue is, but they were all genuinely like, "Fuck." Like the funniest reaction I saw, there were two reactions that really made my day. There was Joe Rogan's one. He was legit just like bummed, and that guy Kenny Okoji as well. He just looked like he wanted to kill himself. It's hilarious. Anderson might be my number one. I wouldn't argue with you. I wouldn't argue with you. In terms of the competition that he fought, and not just the competition, it's the way that he won as well. And we've spoken about this a few times. If Anderson Silva was operating in this modern era, he would have been a double, triple weight champion, no problem. He just never got the opportunity. Jones is 10 to me, or is he number one, do you mean? Kenny, he somehow still managed to glaze his fucking balls off in a loss. He was like, yeah, man, he's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He came out there and showed how good his boxing was, man. And, bruv, he got hit with some of the sloppiest overhands ever and got fucking... he gave up. I don't really shit on anyone for getting choked out and tapping. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you've never been choked, it's fucking scary. When you literally feel like you're about to die. When people go, oh, man, it's pussy, man. They tapped out. I'm like, nah, I don't really agree with that. He's fucked anyway. You might as well tap, I guess. I don't look down on it as much as other people do. I don't really get the Izzy hate either though. Oh, he's cringe, man. He's botch. Just the way he talks, he's got the worst case of main character syndrome I've ever seen. I've never seen someone suck themselves off the way that he does. He's just a cringy cunt. The thing is that he's not like he's genuinely not like a terrible person, but imagine if Izzy had won last night, what he would have done. He would have danced on Dricus's grave. He would have humiliated him. If he'd knocked him out the same way, he would have destroyed him. He would have got on top of him, started humping him. It would have been awful. The fact that we got humility from him is because he had no choice. No, I mean, I agree that you should go sleep or fight the hands. I get that, but I find it less fucked when people do tap. I get it. I've been choked out before, and it ain't fun. Your natural reaction is just to try and, it's a hard thing to explain unless you've been choked. MMA Joey was crying hard. He said DDP had no chance in the fight in his prediction. MMA Joey is, to be fair, he's had a pretty good year for predictions. As much as that guy can't see his own dick, he kind of knows what he's talking about sometimes. And I hate MMA Joey. But he's been reasonably right. Armin is number one. I do love Armin as well. He would have been a horrible cunt about it. He would have been awful. He would have been awful. I think that Dricus winning was a win for humanity. Because that's the only way that was going to end. Because Dricus would have done some out-of-pocket shit if he'd won. It would have been legit bad. Like WWE, they always tap out. It's just your instinct. When your wind is cut off, you think of the quickest way to make it stop. It's not natural for your brain to get shut off. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't mind Joey. To be honest, I don't really watch him that much. I just think he is exactly the same as Kenny Okoji. Like, you think that he's trolling by just having these contrary takes, but no, he just thinks that way. He just has alternate takes to everyone else, and it feels contrived, even though it isn't. I genuinely don't have any real problem with the guy. I don't like his voice. I don't like his takes, but I'm sure he's a perfectly fine human being. I don't mind him as a human. I don't mind Joey. I hate Guru. I like Guru a lot. I'll be honest. I do. I've always enjoyed him from like day one. I don't mean to sound like a glazer, but he's from my neck of the woods as well. So like his diction and the way that he speaks is very much similar to how my friends talk. So he feels like somebody who would fit in quite easily with my friend group. Just typical South Londoner, really. But Lau is beefing with Marty to duck Shavkat. I mean, it's a fucking genius move. Genius move. Guru is a hateful person. You can tell that he was the one guy at work always sitting alone at the table. I don't know, man. His banter seems to be. I mean, the guy does have. The problem that Guru's got now, yeah, is he's so huge that the bigger you get, yeah, the level of hate increases with it. And he does say some controversial things. So it's the problem that everyone faces when they're a YouTuber. It's like you get so big that the level of hate just multiplies. And personally, I find the guy very entertaining. His knowledge is incredible. I can get why people like him and don't like him. Personally, I fall in the like him side of things. I just always have. And I've got credit for what he does because, like I said, doing what he does is a lot harder than people think. Guru is an incel. I've heard that once or twice. I can see why people have that take. Yeah, I do. I do like him. Yeah, he has racist rants and give off 4chan vibe. He does say racist things in particular about Dagestani fighters and stuff. But the thing is, yeah, London's very much like that. Everyone is kind of banterish like that, like racially banterish. It's like, for example, I grew up around pretty much exclusively black dudes, and we used to say such out of pocket shit to each other. Like if I said it online, like obviously I didn't do things like say the N word or anything like that, but I used to make jokes about people from different countries, and they do the same to me. And if you heard, I mean, obviously I would never be stupid enough to say that um, publicly, but it's just kind of the way we are in London because we're such a mixed city. It feels very like, how you doing, Smelly Fingers? Good to see you here, bro. But no, I can get again, man. I can get why he rubs people up the wrong way. And that's the thing. When you get to that size, it's almost impossible not to piss people off. I can see both sides of it. Whereas with MMA Joey, I don't understand how that guy has such a strong following. Because I think his takes are awful. I think he sounds like a twat. But that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, if I'm not gonna hate on the guy for being liked as well, maybe I am hating a little bit. Maybe there's a bit of like, you know, a bit of jealousy there. I don't know. I could admit to that. I'm not ashamed to admit I'm a hater sometimes. He hid me because I'm from his channel because I'm homeless. What? That seems to be the oh well. That's if that's the case, I don't like how that sounds. Did he literally say that was the reason? How has Guru never been recognized in London? No, I know why. I know why. Like I don't. He seems to me like somebody who doesn't go out that much. I would assume because he's a very recognizable guy. I mean, he's a big dude. He's got a very distinctive look as well. I've thought the same thing. But mind you, if you think, I'm sure that it's happened where he's been out because I mean, the guy has to go to like go shopping or whatever. I'm assuming that people have bumped into him from time to time and just been like, "Yeah, what's up?" But it's weird. MMA Joey goes to the progressive audience. You are too problematic for him. Yeah, he definitely goes for that kind of. Would you say it's the lefty crowd, like the fully leaning lefties? He stays inside his shed all day. I think he lives. I don't think he would look better without a beard because I remember back in the day when he didn't used to have one. It wasn't a look that was that good for him. I think he looks more full with the beard. I mean, now I'm just judging dudes now, which is a road I didn't think I was going to be going down, but it is what it is. Guru's hair is just atrocious. The thing is that he probably does it himself, though, isn't it? I mean, it must be nice to not have to wear the goddamn beanie anymore. I don't know how he got through 6 years of wearing a beanie. That must have been torture. So for him, I'm pretty sure he's just done a fuck it, man. Or maybe my hair's a little bit wild from day to day, but at least I don't have to wear a fucking beanie in the middle of summer, you know? The meme of him being in a wheelchair will never die. Even after the Drickers thing, which is one of the most funny, like, just hilarious to me. Frankie, I watch a lot of your shorts, Andy. I watch a lot of your shorts. Your shorts are my favorite stuff to watch. I know that you often show like things like if you found like a new ice cream and stuff like that, which I think is always cool. Yeah, I always catch those videos at the worst time. Like when I really want an ice cream and I can't have one. And then suddenly Andy pops up going, "Want one?" I watch your stuff, Andy. If I subscribe to you, then I watch your stuff. I think it's like disrespectful to subscribe to somebody and not watch what they do. And I think most people who are in here will testify to that. Like crossover MMA's in here, Brutali's in here, musical sometimes pops up in here. I watch everything they do because I just think it's respectful. And also, I don't want to fuck up your algorithm as well. So if I'm subscribed to you and I'm not watching your videos and it's not good for you getting pushed out there, I might as well not be subscribed if I'm going to do that. Guru looks like that murderer Stephen McDaniel, who was like Stephen McDaniel. Who was that again? That name rings a bell. I don't watch a lot of serial killer stuff anymore. I don't want that turning up in my search history. My search history's dodgy enough as it is. I've already got like weird porn in there. I don't need like you know, serial killer searches as well. Or else I'm gonna end up on some kind of list. I'm really just chuffed yet that my internet has lasted this long. By the way, if you are new here, if you could throw me up as subscribe as always, that would be really appreciated. I think most of you in here are subscribed already though. He looks insane. It's hard to argue with that. I like the guy though. I like the guy. And maybe I'm a little bit of a contrarian as well. Maybe I've got that about me. He was some college student and murdered his fellow students and was live on the news while they were searching for a body. I love the word dweeb. Dweeb is one of my favorite words. It's such a British thing to say, you fucking dweeb. I love that word. I think I've heard of him. He killed one person, right? I mean, not that that's okay, but you know what I'm saying. I'll go to drop my channel in here. Of course you can, sir. What's your subscriber count now, Andy? My channel's been lacking lately. Like I haven't done. Obviously, I released a video that we did in the collaboration group, where all the YouTubers came together and we did that video about what do you call it? I can't remember the title of it. But it's like I said, having no internet is just such a kid. That's something I really just want to go home. Mountain, I always have to double read your comments because I'm like, I know you're gonna fuck me up one of these days. You're gonna catch me slipping. Guru looks like him if he had no beard. I think Guru looks better with the beard. Yeah, Dork is a really good. Dork slaps as well. It's like you fucking dork. Dork hurts. Like if someone calls you dork and means it, it hurts. Yeah, yeah, playing touchback with that dork in the park. Nah, Guru looks identical to the Plymouth shooter. There's a look. Or weed is your favorite word. Calling someone a weed is quite harsh as well. You fucking weed. It just sounds so like degrading. Bro, Twitter literally falls into I can't. The thing is, yeah, my Twitter account is actually quite, I've got like a decent following on there. I hate Twitter now. I hate Twitter now. I much prefer being on like ITP's got a Discord. We've got a Discord in here as well. I prefer that because you end up just talking to people that you're actually cool with, and then you don't have to deal with like thousands of bullshit posters on there. It's like for some reason I can't get rid of Kenny Okoji. I can't get rid of MMA Joey. Like even though I have them, I think I have them both blocked, but they still pop up on my feed. It's fucking jarring, man. Yeah, that Dork in the Park line was one of my favorite. Playing touch button in the park. I love that line. Have you ever seen any of the shorts? I'm in Manila, Smelly Fingers. Elon ruined Twitter. I don't know why people have that opinion, because didn't he kind of like, I know there's more ads and shit like that, and obviously there's the paid subscription thing, which is just terrible. But didn't he kind of like, I remember when I first went on Twitter and he'd just taken over, I used to get fucking banned all the time. Like I'd get kicked off for saying just regular fucks and shits, and like I remember one time we were talking about, I can't remember which fighter it was. I was saying that we should encourage the. It might have been Bo Nickel or somebody, I can't remember. But I basically said something like, he talked about how he could beat a chimpanzee in a fight. I was like, are you fucking. So I basically said, oh, we should encourage Bo Nickel to fight a chimpanzee so he gets his ass whooped. And I got banned for a week for that. A week. Hang on a second, Smelly Fingers. I'm going to try and get that Discord link. Unless someone in here is sharp enough to get it on my behalf. I'm so slow. Here it is. I'm so slow with shit like this. So I think Twitter's been better over the years. Like it feels like it's less kind of, like I said, I don't get banned for dumb shit anymore. But the bottom line is what paradox. What you're saying is, yeah, it's a cesspool. Twitter is a cesspool. There are some really good posters on there who come out with funny shit all the time. Like there's a guy who's I follow quite a lot called Elon Rachmanov, for example, who's really fun. A lot, not fun, but like he usually has like good takes and is quite, you know. So there's guys that are worth following, but generally it's just a cesspool full of cunts. You're in vanilla. I prefer chocolate myself. I wish I was in vanilla, mate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so the Discord's in the link. People said that when it started. I think it depends on what your perspective is on it. Like, I personally think there's things that are better about it and things that are worse about it. I don't think it's as cut and dry as just like it's way worse now. I kind of agree with Mountain Man a little bit as well. For me, the worst thing about Twitter was not the paid subscriptions and stuff, or the adverts. It was the getting banned for nothing. For nothing. The amount of times I used to get a message back saying, this message has been blocked because you called someone a cunt. It's like they're being a cunt. I should be able to say someone's a cunt if they are being one without getting silenced. And even stuff like arsehole, anything that was like tamed or you're being a dick, blocked. But that thing about the fucking monkey and Bo Nickel getting banned for a week for that was just so silly, man. It's like I'm paying for that shit. I'm getting banned for a week. X is a shit name as well. Yeah, that doesn't help. But nobody calls it X. Bo Nickel knows he can't beat a chimp. He's trolling. I don't know if it was Bo Nickel. I know Bo Nickel did say that. I think it was somebody else that said they could beat a gorilla or beat a monkey, and I was like, yeah, we should gas it. That's what I said. I said we should gas him up so he tries. And they obviously weren't happy with the term gassing. Like that wasn't a J reference. Do you know what I mean? It was, and even if it was, I should be allowed. Anyone should be allowed to say what they want. Like I'm not about inciting hatred or anything like that. Like I think racism is abhorrent, but at the same time, man, I'm like everyone should be able to say what the fuck they want. If people want to be racist, they should be allowed to be racist. If they want to be offensive, they should be allowed. Just in the same way that people should have the right to ignore those people. I'm kind of getting into one there. Yeah, I don't call it. I don't call it X. I call it Twitter. X is terrible. Now Twitter is the opposite. You can just say whatever the fuck you want, and that's the thing. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. I don't agree with censoring people, no matter how fucked up their views are. Twitter used to be super woke and soy, but they banned anyone who was based. And you can, bro, half the, not even half, pretty much the entire chat in here has based views in one way or another. Like, I don't agree with entirely what people think, everyone thinks in here, but I respect the fact that they have a right to say what they want and think what they want. Like I said, if you're racist towards certain groups, usually there's a reason that got you there. I'm not saying that you're right. As long as you're not hurting anyone, I'm kind of fine with it. I think free speech is important. I think it comes at a price. I think sometimes people have to get offended in order to safeguard those kind of things. You know? Once you start down that road, it's a slippery slope because all it takes is for one person to be offended, and then it's like, yeah, you can't say that anymore. And then it's just a slippery slope. We end up going down a path where we're just sensitive snowflakes that we can't say anything about anything. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I do think that Twitter is better for that these days. Based racism, like I said, I mean, I don't really have. I mean, I think we all have. I think we all have somewhat. If we're not racist, all of us have some form of prejudice. It's very, very hard these days not to. How you doing, Einlines, my boy? Shout out to your channel. Shout out to Crossover MMA. By the way, Crossover, you know the live that we did the other day? I can't remember any of it. I don't know if you noticed, but I was fucked out of my gourd, mate. I'd had no sleep for 3 days, and I decided to get drunk as well. And then at some point in the chat, I'm like, there's other people here. I was drunk off my nuts, sir. So I need to shout at the lad who was on as well and thank him for coming on because I was caked. Hey, that link didn't work. So what's the Aaron? Would you mind linking the Aaron? Are you here? I don't know what the fuck is up with that link. How's it going, Lane? What's good, my boy? How you doing? I hate everyone equally. Paradox, I think that should be the take. Yeah, crossover. I'm really sorry, man. I was literally, the next day I popped on to check my because I was going to do another live, and then I realized, fucking hell, I was live last night, and then I saw you and that other dude pop up, and I was like, I haven't watched it back. I'm genuinely scared. I don't remember going on at all. I was fucked. It was mostly the tiredness. The thing is that you know me, man. I don't hide from the truth. I don't mind embarrassing myself. But good to see you, Lane. Good to see you, Crossover. Shout out to your channels. Good to see you, Lane, as well. We were just talking about how we were just discussing about whether Twitter has gotten better or worse since Elon Musk took over. And I think there are strong cases for both. By the way, that guy who came in the chat with us was a really nice bloke. But I don't know who it is on here. He had some really good takes and was like, I enjoyed having him on. But then literally the next day when the video popped up, I'm like, oh, I don't even remember who the fuck. Like, great dude, though. I'd love to have him on again. Lol, Darren Till's lost to DDP. I think what's going to happen here is DDP. The thing is, DDP is going the way that he fights. Yeah, one day he's going to lose that Chad chin, and he's going to get brutally slept, and then everyone he's beat is going to look shit. X is by far much better. You see, do you know what? Yeah, I think that should do you know, I'm going to chuck that up as a poll because I think we've got Hang on a second, boys. I think we've got some So I need to open up my YouTube in order to do a poll. Sorry, guys. I'm curious about this one. I can't even type. I'm gonna say pre-Elon or post-Elon. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not calling it X. I think it's better now as well. I was saying this as well. I just don't like being fucking censored, man. I thought it was Chris Gray, but he said it wasn't him. Yeah, who was that? I mean, like I said, the dude was really cool. I need to go back and have a look because I'm sure he mentioned it in the chat. I'm sure he said who he was, like when he initially came in. I've definitely got to do more stuff like that, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Sniff come on as well? Did Sniff jump on as well? Maybe I'm fucking tripping. 'Cause I'm a big Sniff fan out here. I would have probably been overwhelmed if that had been the case. He did resemble Dominic Reyes a little bit. Yeah, mate. At some point, I felt like I was on autopilot. Sniff came on for a sec. I thought so. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to go back and look at it. Look at it. Yeah, man. I was fucking caked. Sniff's hilarious, man. The thing is, yeah, Sniff's been an OG in the chat for years. Like I used to see him in Guru's chat. I've seen him obviously in Musical's chat quite a bit. He's funny in the chat. But I was saying this to Musical as well. Like it's very rare that you get somebody who's funny in the chat, and then when you get them on camera, they're funny as well. How you doing, Porn Surprises? Good to see you. The Reyes brothers suck. I'm afraid that they do. And the weird thing is, yeah, is that the older, smaller one is somehow. I mean, the fact that he's older is baffling to me. But yeah, they fucking suck. It's hard to argue with that. They're both shit. But somehow the older, smaller brother is even shitter. Yeah, there's the Sniff is so entertaining on camera. He's so entertaining. Hank the Tank's very entertaining as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means, Andy. You are my devil, and you like him more of his stuff. Not sure what that means, sir. Elon doesn't tolerate deplatforming people that don't agree with your beliefs 1,000% better than soy boy Jack Dorsey. And that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. How you doing, Cayman Rider? I'm very, very happy for DDP. How did you score Hooker Gamrot? I had it 2-1 Gamrot. I thought he won the first 2 rounds. Or maybe it was 1 and 3, but I had him clearly winning 2. But again, I don't think it was a robbery. I thought it was a dubious decision. I thought the Kaliba one was way worse. That cunt he was fighting did nothing. He literally took him down and laid and prayed on him for like half of 2 rounds. And other than that, he was getting touched. Thoughts on DDP moving up to light heavyweight? I don't like champ fights. I hate him. I'd rather see him stay at middleweight and beat. There's some really good up and comers at middleweight. And DDP is only 30 years old. We're in a very good position with DDP where he could have like he could go on a ridiculous middleweight title run. Like I don't think he will, because sticking that chin out is going to get him hurt one of these days. But he's 30 years old. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Paradox. Bad decision, not a robbery. And it was like I said, it wasn't ridiculous. When they gave it to Hooker, I wasn't like, fuck me. Whereas when they gave the decision against Kalibao, I literally was like, no fucking way. You scored it for Ramos. Man, that surprises me. I might have to go back and watch it. Maybe I had like, I thought Kalibao was robbed as well. I agree with Lane. Pereira fight Ank, bro. I don't know what Ank has done to fuck them over or piss them off. But I guess if you think about it, right, Ankalaev has had 1 fight in 2 years. Or he's only fought the same person. He should have been disqualified in the first fight, and then he fought the same guy again. He's only fought twice in 2 years, basically. And it's against the most chinny person in the division. Roundtree's fought 3 times. But he did only beat Smith. He did only beat Smith. He's probably the only. I don't. The truth of it is, yeah, neither of them should be getting a title shot. Kaliba was robbed, badly robbed. 2 and 3 Dan. I don't hate it. I don't hate the Dan Hooker decision. I don't agree with it. But I wasn't up in, and I had money on Gamrot, had him closing out a parlay, and I wasn't like, oh fuck, they robbed him. But I did feel like that with Kaliba. They don't want Alex to lose. They've obviously got things set up. They want Alex to stay safe in light heavyweight so they can give him. They've realized more and more that they're going to have to give him to Tom Aspinall. That's basically what's going to happen. If Alex loses to Ankalaev, which is a very strong possibility, you've killed light heavyweight because no one likes Ankalaev and he's not active, and you've killed heavyweight as well in one fell swoop. They want Alex to chin out Roundtree, which he will do very, very easily, and he's going to be fighting Tom at the MSG card. Watch. That's what I'm saying. Roundtree got flatlined by Johnny Walker, and he's getting a title shot. It's fucking wild. Roundtree is shit. He's so one-dimensional. Ank talked mad about the UFC after he did. So the thing is that Ankalaev kind of brought this on himself. The company clearly don't like him. And I think he's the way he's been behaving as well, he's been very, very entitled in the build-up to all this. Hooker earned the robbery, not a bad take. The way that he chatted through it and made it a fun fight, again, I think that's why I can't be pissed off about it. Thoughts on Joe Rogan's new special? I mean, it's the worst. It's Brendan Schaub level bad. There's a video I saw on it. Hang on a second. I'd strongly recommend this. Let me see if I can find the guy. There's a guy who made a video talking about it, and he was fucking brutal, mate. He tore him to pieces. Fuck, what was the guy's name? Oh, fuck me. I've got so many subscriptions now. Shit. Hang on. He called it something along the line. Do you know what? I'll find it later. Because otherwise I'm just going to be sat staring at my screen while you guys are here. It was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. Take care of yourself, Crossover. Please subscribe to Crossover MMA if you wouldn't mind, guys. He's a new up-and-comer and doing some really good things. How you doing, Dougie? Did somebody say Dougie? It's Dougie here. G'day, mate. You can? Dougie's not here. Dougie's not here. Or is Dougie here? Elephant Graveyard. It was Elephant Graveyard. He ripped him a new asshole. He brutalized Joe Rogan. The thing is, though, Joe Rogan's never been funny. He's never been funny. So yeah, Lane, that's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to keep Alex nice and cushy and safe by giving him a can, and Khalil Roundtree is a can, and then it'll be him and Tom, MSG November, right next to the. I think that's why John Jones is not signing, because he knows the UFC is going to fuck him over and try and put Tom and Alex on the same card. He knows it. I would be honestly amazed, or I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even fight Stipe. How you doing, Dougie, bro? You at work? Yeah, he did a breakdown on Joe. It was Elephant Graveyard. Really, really good. Let me see if I can pop it up on here. Lurking and working. Good man. Let me check. This Elephant Graveyard guy. I don't know what happened, but I just happened to stumble on his video yesterday. This was the one. Burn the boats. This video's done like 1.5 million views already. Let me pop it in here. There we go. It was funny as fuck, mate. I just realized as well. There we go. He's one of the 1,000 comedians on the planet. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Didn't he say it was like 250? Alex is an actual star. He's too valuable for the UFC now. It's true. The thing is, yeah, if Alex goes down now, himself and Drickus are basically carrying the entire fucking sport. Because think about it, we've got Bilal at welterweight, we've got Islam at lightweight, who never fights. We've got Sean O'Malley, who's obviously entertaining enough, but personality-wise, ain't the guy. And then they've got Pantoja, who nobody gives a fuck about. So it's basically Drickus. John Jones isn't fighting. So it's basically Tom, Alex, Drickus. Those are the guys. Watch your mouth. Thoughts on Kenny Okoji erasing all white people? What do you mean he erased all white people? I saw his meltdown after the Izzy fight, which I swear to God gave me a hard on. I might jerk off to it later. Fucking just watching his stupid stunned face. And then he came out like 2 hours later and tried to make a video. How you doing, Taz? Good to see you, my man. What am I waffling about today? We were talking about if Twitter was better or not with Elon Musk at the helm. And now we're kind of talking about like the middleweight picture and what's going on with light heavyweight and stuff with Roundtree. You know, the usual stuff. How you doing, Taz? It's good to see you, man. Alex is a literal glass cannon at middleweight. He can't fight there again. He's, as I said multiple times when I was drunk off my fucking nut the other day, he's really big, man. He's so good. He's big, man. He's very big and good. He's good. He's very good. I don't think DDP should move up either. It's like I said, middleweight has so many people coming up. You could literally have. There's like 6 or 7 people coming up that would be good opponents for Drickus. Let's just fuck with this double champ bullshit, man. Just stay where you are. The only reason why the situation with Alex is a little bit different is because light heavyweight is dog shit, and he's pretty much beaten everyone good, apart from 1 or 2 people. He needs to beat Rakic, and he needs to beat Ankalaev, and that division is cooked. And that's just how it is. That's the one I saw. I wanted a remote of the special without having to... Yeah, that mountain, that's basically what I did. I'm actually going to purposely overlook Roundtree in this fight. I really think Roundtree won't make it out of the first couple of minutes. He's going to batter him worse than anyone else has. He's going to destroy him. It's definitely not going to get out of round 1. Bilal beats Powelton. Yeah, maybe. The way that this year's been going, anything's doable. At least we got like Izzy losing. So I'll take it, man. I will take it. Never forget most blacks hate us. I don't think that's true. That's a wild statement, sir. How about MVP? MVPs, you can make some fun fights for him, but MVP's never been that good either. He's very one-dimensional. Imagine Bilal as a triple champ. Imagine Bilal as a champion. I still haven't wrapped my head around that shit, bro. That shit still hurts. The thing is, though, it's like I said, it's like the MMA gods have been giving with one hand and then taking with another. So it's like we've got Tom Aspinall beating Blades, but then Bilal won. We have another guy lose, but then we've got fucking Izzy losing. So it's like, it's cool, man. The MMA gods giveth and the MMA gods taketh away. In equal measure this year. That's just how we get. I picked DDP, so would I. How you doing, MMA host? Holy shit. Nice to have you here, bro. I know very full well about your channel. Good to see you, my man. We're talking about poetards and whether or not and how quickly we think Khalil Roundtree is going to get fucking slept. I give it. I reckon he gets. I'm gonna be really generous here. I reckon he makes it like 60 seconds. I give Roundtree 60 seconds in that fight. He's shit. He literally fights from one side only as well. He's very one-dimensional. I think he's gonna get his face smashed. And I think the fact that he's getting a title shot as well after basically getting banned is just bizarre to me. But yeah, whoever said that they give I think DDP would beat Alex in middleweight. I don't think he light heavyweight would be very hard to tell, but Dricus is going to be hard for anyone to beat. It's going to be hard for anyone to beat this version of Dricus at middleweight because he's too much of a Chad, man. Those body shots he was getting from Izzy would have toppled most people. He's just got too much he's just got too much Chad energy, man. I give it 3 minutes. That's really generous. He's shit. He's really shit, bro. He got chinned out by fucking Johnny Walker in less than a couple of minutes. Chinned. And you think he's gonna last in there against Alex Pereira for longer than a minute? You think Roundtree wins? You're definitely trolling. Roundtree is awful. The fact that he's number 8 as well is crazy to me as well. And now he's getting a title shot. I can't believe it. How you doing, Daj? What's good, my man? Dricus is what Bilal thinks he is. I mean, that's just a beautiful statement that's just true on every level. I mean, Dricus fights like he's got learning difficulties. Like, genuinely. And the whole time last night, I said this earlier. I was thinking Izzy's gonna break his face. I was like, oh, it's gonna come, and it just didn't come. And every time he dug into the body, I was thinking, oh man, he's gonna break. But man, the guy's just a next level Chad. Fair play to him, but you can't fight like that. You can't fight like that for the rest of your career and get away with it. But what it do, Dash? Good to see you here, bro. They're never going to fight at middleweight. Alex is not going to go back down. Alex calls out that's the one thing that I don't like about Alex is he does this after everyone wins. Everyone who's in and around his weight class, he jumps on Twitter immediately and calls them out. Alex Pereira is a little bit of a clout chaser. He did it with Tom. He did it with Jones. He did it with Izzy before. And now he's doing it with Dricus. Roundtree is a bad name. It's not my favorite. It's not his fault. Dricus learning difficulties, Duplessis. Yeah, he swings like he's got no brain. Everything you watch about Dricus fight, nothing's telegraphed, nothing's technical. He blows an incredible amount of gas, wasting energy on doing dumb shit. But he wins. He wins. And the thing is, it's not that he's unskilled. He's just goofy. I think goofy is the best way to put it. Yuri beats Dricus. Yuri's chin ain't there, man. The thing is, bro, we have to start accepting, that Chad chin genetics are the best base for MMA. If you're like a Max Holloway or even a Vettori, because Vettori's awful, but he never gets knocked out. He always makes sure that he's in the fight. And if you're in it, you can still win it. As blatantly obvious as that sounds. I want to see Yuri fight Izzy. Would you want to see that at 205 or 185, though? Special needs on special needs violence. I don't really like using that term. I think learning difficulties is a fairer way of putting it. Alex talks on Twitter, but we allow it because he actually walks. And that's the thing. Shotty, you're right. But it's like, I don't like people trying to take other people's shine. I don't like that. Yeah, goofy is the way that I would describe it. He's unorthodox, he's goofy, but he's effective. And the thing is, he's very, very well-rounded for a middleweight. Middleweights are usually one-dimensional. Like the fact that Whitaker was able to dominate the division for such a long period of time. Like Whitaker's not an outstanding fighter in any, like he's one of those jack of all trades type guys. But he did well because he can do pretty much everything. Yuri's too big for middleweight. And he's already been chinned twice at light heavyweight. I would not like him going down. I think Dricus would tuck him in. I think Izzy would tuck him in as well at middleweight. Who's more retarded, Marvin or Duplessis? It's a weird. Maybe you won't agree with me on this here. I think Vettori looks more technical on the feet than Duplessis does. Duplessis is a better fighter, but Vettori doesn't look that shit in terms of like, the way he throws technical strikes. He's just slow and a bit kind of, Whereas Duplessis just looks like If you've got two 4-year-old fourth graders in the playground and you just let them go and have a swing at each other, that's what Duplessis fights like. I was literally like, I had my hands in my head thinking, you're about to get fucked. That's the thing. DDP makes you throw out. Anything you think you know technically about MMA, he throws everything out the window because the way that he fights, he should be getting smashed. But he's just effective. He doesn't give up. He never gives up on himself. And there are some things he can do that, like I said, the takedowns are really good. He's so strong. Did you see Vettori and Brendan Allen fight in a casino? No. When did this happen? Was this recent? DDP is adaptive. I can't disagree with that. I love DDP as a fighter, and the thing is that he's fun to watch, which is so underrated these days. I think DDP clears Hamzat. DDP looks like he's tired in a fight here, but he goes the full 5. Hamzat's got like 3 minutes in him. He's got one heavyweight jizz in him, and he's done. I think Hamzat's gonna lose to Whitaker as well. But DDP clears him. DDP does fight like he's drunk. That's another good way of describing it. If you describe it as like drunk or like goofy, I don't like to use the word retarded because it's rude, but like it is a bit. It is a bit. I love Vettori, by the way. Vittori's chin genetics, and at least again, he's fun, but he's shit. He's a shit fighter. DDP is a nightmare matchup for Kansas. He is. He can wrestle. He's powerful. I think he would kill him. I reckon we see DDP and Baralho down the line. I reckon we see that sooner rather than later. I reckon Baralho is going to clear out Cannonier, and he's going to get a title shot within the next 6 to 12 months. I think Baralho is the guy who's next up. Looking at the middleweight rankings, hang on a sec. Middleweight, yeah? Middleweight is a great division. I was saying this to somebody earlier. I think it was on Twitter. Middleweight, yeah, is secretly... Hang on. If you look at the unofficial middleweight rankings, yeah? If you look at the unofficial middleweight rankings on Tapology, where is it? Is this it? Why is it showing me UFC.com when I'm clicking on fucking Tapology? Nope, I don't want the Bellator rankings. Nobody wants those. What the hell? Sorry, guys. Hang on a second. Okay, so here it is. Right. This top 50 is mad. I mean, look at that top 15. But then as soon as you get out of it, you got Pfeiffer outside the rankings. Rodriguez, Muniz. I mean, Aliskerov's all right. Magomedov's all right. I don't know what Paul Craig's doing there. Roman Kopilov is 24th. The Iron Turtle's 25th. I mean, Edmund Shabazian, I don't know what he's doing at 20. Bo Nickel's fucking 28th, bros. You keep going down. Mal Kuhn is really good as well. He's 34th. All right, Petrosky's shit. Don't know what Weidman's doing there. But you see my point. Like, Christian Leroy Duncan's not in the top 30. Keep going down. I mean, yeah. Middleweight's fucking. They've got some good up and comers, but I reckon Cal Baralho's going to be the next one. Oh man, Prates last night. Oh my god. I really thought he'd killed Li Jingliang. They did Li Jingliang so dirty putting him in there with that monster. Can we get Costa versus Mikael Pereira? I'd love that fight. I think Mikael Pereira fucks him up though. I mean, Mikael Pereira's barely in the top 15, and that guy's looking like an absolute murderer at this weight class. The only reason why I don't think Mikael Pereira is going to get as far as Baralho is because I love Mikael Pereira, but he's dumb. He's real dumb. The fight IQ just isn't there. He makes too many mistakes. He wastes too much energy as well. Whereas Cal Baralho is not just a good fighter, he's actually smart and he's technical. and he doesn't make stupid mistakes. But I'd love to see Costa and Pereira. That'd be a great fight. Prates versus Jeff Neal. I think Prates fucks him up. That striking was so clean. I mean, what if DDP ends up taking Hamzat's back and getting hooks in? Hamzat is the wrestler first. Yeah, horrible matchup. It's a horrible matchup. Is Cannonier actually good? How the fuck is that guy still knocking around? Cannonier is solid. He's solid. They need to do Bo Nickel and what's his face? Joe Pyfer. Why they haven't made that fight makes no sense to me. I know they're worried about both or one or both of those guys getting knocked off, but it's going to happen anyway. If you put them in separate fights, they both might lose. Whereas if you put them against each other, at least one of them is going to ascend. That fight makes all the sense in the world to me. Bo Nickel and Pyfer. Prates versus MVP. I think Prates. After what I saw last night, I think Prates could potentially be a top 5 guy. He's scary, man. He is scary. I think Prates beats MVP. I think he beats Burns. I think the only time Prates starts to hit trouble is when he gets to like the JDMs, and he might even beat Leon right now. After what we saw Leon do and embarrass himself. Both Costa and Pereira, same fight IQ, bad. But that's the thing, it would be so entertaining, wouldn't it? It would be so entertaining to watch that. It's just like two fucking balloon animal dummies just swinging off. I'd love that. Prates versus the loser of Wonderboy Buckley. That's not a bad shout. I think the Wonderboy Buckley fight's a strange one as well. I don't know why Buckley's taken. I mean, I don't know why Wonderboy's taking that fight. That's a tough because Buckley can wrestle and wrestle really well. Yeah, that came in. It was brutal. It was brutal. Them doing it to Li Jingliang here. Basically, Li Jingliang for me is one of the most fucked over UFC fighters I've ever seen. Can you guys name a time in recent history where you've watched a fight that wasn't heavyweight and one guy was 170 and one guy was 180 and the fight was sanctioned to continue? You know, when he fought Daniel Rodriguez. And he was supposed to fight Nate Diaz that night. I think Wonderboy destroys Buckley. You could be right. Gary versus Prates would be sick, because I think Gary would get fucked up. That's actually a great one. Gary would never take that fight though. He's not that stupid. They're gonna do Ian, Gary, and Colby. They want to give Colby. They want to give Gary another layup. I think they should do Gary versus Leon Edwards. That's what I want to see. But they're gonna do Gary and Colby because they know that Gary probably beats him. And because Gary's so hated, they want to keep the hype train going a little bit. Nickel. The thing is, Nickel, the potential's there. But when I saw him fight, Cody Brundage, I was less convinced that he's there. I'd pick Prates over Gary as well. Leach is always getting fucked around. So he got fucked around in that fight where he was supposed to get Nathan Diaz, and then he ends up giving who did he? Yeah, he gets being given Mike Rodriguez, and then he fucks Mike Rodriguez up for 3 rounds. That was one of the worst. That was worse than that one last night with Kalibao. Li Jingliang was 10 pounds lighter and outlanded him 2-1 in every round, and he got robbed. Got screwed, and then he ends up injuring his back, not coming back for 2 years, and then they give him prize. They did him dirty. They did him so dirty. And let's not forget that he had that 6 suit and he never got to rock it. They fucked him over so badly. Yeah, hit the like button, you bastard. I always forget to ask. I always fucking forget to. I always forget to say like and subscribe and everything, and it ends up happening that nobody new subscribes to me. So I end up sitting here like a plum for 2 hours, and I suppose it's always fun. Yeah, the guys that Ian Gary's beat are not that good. Those wins have not aged well. Connor versus Waterboy. I think Dana White's already confirmed that Conor McGregor's definitely not fighting this year, which is a surprise to absolutely nobody. Fucking bum. Ian Gary is low key feasted on old guys. Rodriguez, Magny, Jeff Neal, MVP, etc. No, and he never will. That's what I'm saying. It will be Colby next, definitely, and it'll be another boring decision where he just tit taps away. I appreciate that, Andy. And if there's guys, if there's like I said, there's guys in the channel, Paradox to Chad, um, Andrew, subscribe to those people if you're new here, because I'm sure they'd really appreciate it. Conrad is never fighting again. When will people catch on? Shotty, yeah, I've been saying this for 3 years, bro. I've been saying this for 3 years. When he broke his leg, I'm like, he's not coming back. He's never coming back. And to be honest, this is the one thing that a lot of people are overlooking, yeah? Not everyone, because I know that you guys get it as well. Would you fight if you were him? I wouldn't. If I was balling beyond belief, I wouldn't go in there and risk my brain and my reputation. Like, people have kind of forgotten the he's kind of got the excuse with the broken leg in the Poirier fight. If he goes and gets dusted by Chandler, his reputation's going to forever be in the gutter. If I was him, I wouldn't take the risk. I'll just chill on my yacht and get blowjobs every day and just fucking enjoy my money, do coke until my nose fucking falls out. That's what I do. I want to see Max versus O'Malley at 145. That would be a sick fight. I think there's so much you can do with Sean O'Malley. Him and Ilya would be nice as well. I'm leaning. I know that Guru gave like a very convincing argument for why he thinks Ilya's going to beat Max. But I'm still leaning on Max. I think Max is so good, man. I fell on my phone. The fuck? Was it something I said? But yeah, Max versus O'Malley at 145 is a great fight. Like I said, there's so many fights you can do with O'Malley. But that Merab fight's going to be tough. Because Merab is relentless. Still think Sean chins him, though. Subscribe or you're gay. Those tactics there, yeah? Subscribe or you're gay, man. 37-year-old past prime Colby has Ian Gary licking his lips right now, right up his alley. It's a cuck's fucking dream, innit? It's a cuck's dream. It just is. And this, like I said, the storyline's there as well. Colby's cooked. It's an easy fight for Ian Gary, in my opinion, because it's just the way that he fights as well. He's got pretty decent takedown defense. He's very rangy. I think it would be a walk in the park for him. He tricks Colby into doing a 3-rounder, stays at distance and just taps away with leg kicks. Easy W, in my opinion. And then he basically probably gets a title shot off the back of that, even though he shouldn't. Because I think Ian Gary's going to come unstuck when he fights. Like I said, when he fights JDM or Shavkat, he's fucked. Nah, Colby's done, bro. The Colby that beat. I was thinking Daniela Westbrook. She was a nasty bitch. Conor is sitting out till his contract sunsets. Then he will crush cans in the BKFC for fun. He's definitely going to fight in BKFC, and it will definitely be a can. It would be stupid not to. Who do you think gets the best of each other when Merab and Aljo spar? It's a good question, It's a good question. I reckon they'd be. I know. I don't want to sound like I'm a fence sitter. If I had to say, I'd probably say Aljo, just because he's bigger. But I reckon they probably beat each other up. They look like they're rolling around together on the ground all day, those two. They've got quite a sweet little relationship, to be fair to them. They're little fags. They've got a nice little bromance going. I would say probably Aljo, just because he's the bigger dude. But because the thing is, Merab is just persistent with the takedowns. It's like Dad is saying, his motor's non-stop, but he's not actually good on the ground, and he's not very technical down there. He's just non-stop. Whereas Aljo actually has Aljo's not that good on the ground either, but he's better than Marab. He's got more like technical submission skills down there, I would argue. Colby versus O'Malley or DDP. That's a wild swing in either direction there. So are you suggesting that he should fight both of them? Like DDP is probably big enough to fight Colby and O'Malley. I mean, Colby's probably the size of DDP's leg, mate. He could probably fight both of them. Oh, no, you didn't. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But yeah, I agree with you, Dougie. I think when does that sunset clause come into effect? I imagine it can't be that far away. There's no way he fights in the UFC again. There's no fucking way. Especially for the amount of money that he gets as well. He's probably getting like 3-4 million. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If I was him, I would never come back. I wouldn't even do BKFC. Although, if he does, think about the money he'll make over there. Give himself a nice little can. Probably do 1 million pay-per-view buys. Realistically. I'm really lucky that the old internet has held up here. I'm quite surprised. I think what we might do, boys, we've got 37 in here, which is fucking crazy. Sunday is turning into Fight Night Frankie Day. I've got a Shay. I've just realized, guys, is Brutally still on? Is Brutally still on? Lost Soul. I don't want to give him any love. I remember Ironines went over to say hello to the guy, and he just got really salty with him. How about if we all jump over to... Oh, wait, hang on. Do we know Connor's contract has a sunset clause? I think legally they all have to. So I think there's something in the bylaws about how many fights they're supposed to get offered. Din Thomas has always been the biggest Izzy Glazer. I don't like Din Thomas. What will Chandler do now? Wasn't there rumors that they had another fight for him? I think it was like Arman Sarukian or somebody. No, Brutal is not on. Okay. Yeah, YouTube glitch is Brutally still being on. I thought that was a little bit weird because he's not usually... I mean, it's like what? It's 1:30 in the morning in the UK. He's never usually on that late. Yeah, I think that was... No, but if you remember, Shotty, you know the whole class action lawsuit thing that happened? Taking out sunset clauses was one of the stipulations. I don't think that got rebuffed by the judges because of the amount of money they were offering. I think it was because of the sunset clauses. So I think the fact that the UFC tried to say, right, well, here's the payout, but we're going to slip those out as part of it as well, is the reason why the antitrust lawsuit got rebuffed. Because that is like as anti-competitive practices they get as you can get. Stopping people from being able to leave. Nah, man. That's the part of the whole UFC's model that's crazy. Stay on, cunt. I've got another 6. I'm not going to be able to do 6 hours, mate. I'll be dead. I'll stay on as long as I can. You selfish prick, mate. I've had no fucking sleep whatsoever. Like I said, I don't know what it is, man, but being here, I always get sick or something happens. There must be something in the water or something. But I mean, I'm happy to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Did you hear the judge cancelled the settlement and demanded it go to trial? I did hear that, and I think it's because of those sunset clauses. I don't think it's because of the settlement amount. I don't think they really care about the money. I think it's because they tried to slip other things in there. So there was basically a stipulation in it where they essentially said that they can remove the sunset clauses was one of them. The way that the UFC operates with money, though, is so fucking disgusting, man. I mean, even the fact, Mixed Molly Whoppery did a video on... I mean, I did a very similar video to what he did, except mine was shit and less effort. We were essentially talking about, it was when Jackson and I went on and spoke about the very same thing. I mean, bonuses have been, if you think about inflation and all the rest of it, bonuses have been 50 years here. Sorry, 15 years. 15 years. They've been the same. So bonuses are actually worth, I think it's something ridiculous, like 25% less than they were 13 years ago, which is crazy. Is there any good food there? Yeah. I don't like Filipino food, I'll be honest. I don't like it. Compared to Thai food, it's fucking dog swill. But they've got some good places to eat. They're just not like purely Filipino food. I went and had like a hot pot yesterday and it was all right. I guess Chandler versus Armand for the title shot works. I can't see. Well, Armand's got a clear path now that Gamrot's knocked himself out. Do you think it's because nobody uses toilet? Are you not? Are you not a bidet person? Do you know Todd Atkins' YouTube channel? Two guys who know a lot about MMA business and talk about stuff. No, I don't. Todd Atkins. Oh, I've heard of this guy. Hang on. Have I got the right person? Todd Atkins. Yeah, I got him. I'm going to subscribe immediately. I think I've seen this guy about. I'll definitely give that a try. Oh, I'm out. See you. But take care, Randy. Have a good rest, mate, and have a happy Sunday. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. I don't really want to raid. What's his fucking face? I don't think anyone's on now. Anyway, I think it's just Lost Soul. I don't even know why I'm still subscribed to that guy. I never watch. I'm not a fan of his style at all. I think I'm gonna dive off. I literally think there's nobody on. We need to start convincing cking to do lives as well, man. Take it easy, Dad. I went to a Filipino restaurant once, saw fish heads with sharp teeth on buffet, walked out. That sounds about right. I mean, their food is very oily. I think is a way of describing it. It's very like, I don't know. I just don't like it. Compared to Thai food, it's awful. uh, I think we all imagine Sniff doing that in real life. uh, yeah, I don't see anyone as well. Take it easy, Andy. It's good to see you, man. ITP hasn't been on in days. It's weird. Not did he not do a watch along? I wasn't on YouTube at all yesterday. Like I literally had to watch the UFC card on my mobile internet because my hotel Wi-Fi went out for like 24 hours. So I was sat there in the dark, just like watching, having like fucking delusions and sweats and stuff because I'm in a hot country that I'm dehydrating in. Paradox, if you want to go live and pick up the slack here, I would definitely appreciate that. I've heard that collagen is the secret to keep a youthful experience. Is that right? No watch along with ITP. That's surprising. Maybe he's not well or something. Fish cartilage. ITP is at a concert. He's got a new woman in it, so I think he's been getting his dick wet, which would explain where he's disappeared to. I tell you what, though, Shotty, I know 4 days sounds like a long time. I haven't been on in like 2 days, and it feels a lot longer than that. Is that how you do it, Dougie? Dougie's a young looking dude. Oh, Guru looked awful. He looked awful. He looked like he was on death's door. I've literally in the entire in like years and years of watching Guru. I mean, I don't watch him go live anymore, but at least know that he's active. I think he's missed 2 cards. I've seen him miss 2 cards in like 6 years. Paradox obviously kidnapped ITP and has him locked in his basement. I'm not a super spreader, man. I tell you something though, yeah. I think I was patient zero for the Rona. I told you, man. I was in China when it first came out, when it first popped up, and I came over to London and just gave it to a whole load of people. I was definitely one of the first to have it. He's at a festival or rave or something. Fair play to him. It's rough. It's rough going on live every night. I've got a lot of respect for him. I mean, Paradox, you know it yourself as well. I mean, you do like 3-4 hour shifts as well. They're rough. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Guru doesn't take care of his health. He admits he doesn't work out. It can't be that healthy to be inside a lot of the time and to probably not be eating that healthy and working out that healthy. I mean, he's not in terrible shape or anything. It's just, you need to get out and obviously eat the right things and whatnot. And mentally, it can't be very good for him as well. Like, because he's online all the time. I know it probably helps make him. See, Guru's at a weird stage of his career here where he's making so much money that even that doesn't seem, do you know what I mean, worth it anymore. I imagine even now he gets donos and he's just like, who cares? So he doesn't even have that to enjoy about it. Guru got a wrecked immune system since he never leaves the house. He went to Tesco and got bubonic plague. She made him cut his hair. Did he admit to that on live? Oh, his friend is leaving the city, so they've gone to a festival rave concert. I know he was supposed to go to Vegas a little while back as well. Desk Mayo is a killer. That's a meme that's been ongoing for ages. That's why no companion. It was Dougie, did you do a companion yesterday? I'm sure you did, right? There's no way you would have missed 305. I need to go back and see your reaction to Drickus' win. Because I nearly blew my fucking throat out screaming. I hate Adesanya so much. The trick to looking young is sleep and don't eat anything with preservatives and fuck often. It's very good advice, Dougie. Letting that nut go is very important to keeping yourself youthful. It's not that difficult. Like don't be one of those stupid white people that go and get like, natural tans all the time. Drink enough water and get sleep. And moisturize. It's not a difficult it's not a difficult process. Yeah, the dopamine hit of donations does nothing for Guru at that point. The thing is, yeah, when he first said it, I was kind of like, oh man, this is going to be the beginning of his downfall because people are probably going to be upset by that. But at the same time, he's been grinding his ass off for like 6 years. It must be mentally draining to go online and have people calling you piggy and calling shit to you. Like even when I'm like for example, in here, most of the guys who come up in here are chill as fuck. When I go into his chats very rarely these days, 90% of it is people talking shit to him. And it must get annoying. I mean, it obviously helps that he gets paid or whatever. But after a while, that would lose its luster as well. And you just have people coming in calling you this and that, and just I imagine it would be draining. But he's big enough now where he can take time off. He can take a couple of days off and just recharge and then come back, and people will be fine with it, I guess. What are you speculating about, Mountain Man? It's so fucking hot here. Guru was in his 20s and he doesn't feel as much health issues, but when you wreck yourself in your 20s, it will manifest in that's a very, very good point. That's a very, very good point. I think the reason why I maintained looking relatively young at my age is because I was very, very responsible during my 20s. I mean, I'm a fucking drunken degenerate now, but I was much more responsible in my 20s. Like, I was working full time and I couldn't drink because I just couldn't physically function. Like doing like a 14-hour day is impossible if you've been wrecking yourself the night before. But yeah, it's how you set your tone in your 20s is obviously very important. I think it's like giving yourself a good base in it, pretty much. That's a really good point. But he's kind of stuck us in a rock and a hard place because it's like his entire career is doing what he's doing, and it's not going to last forever. I mean, he's already been attacked by the or he's had the UK government going after him. It's only a matter of time before things get worse. And he says something where he gets kicked off. You know, it's going to happen. Yeah, what's going on, bro? Again, then subscribe to Making the Walk. How you doing, my man? Um, I've never heard of the Guru's. Hang on a sec. I've never heard of the Guru's chat culture being a positive one. I mean, he partly cultivates that as well with the banter that he throws about. But nah, I remember I went into like because I signed up as a member to him kind of recently. His members chat is even worse. It's just people cussing him out for an hour and a half. People that pay money to go in there and talk shit at him for an hour and a half. I imagine it would be draining. He must be thinking to himself like, people are paying for the privilege of having like a members chat, and then they come in here just to fucking abuse me. Like, it must be annoying. Like, I kind of get that. How you doing, though, Making the Walk, man? It's good to hear from you. I haven't been able to message back much because I don't know if you were here earlier. Internet has been fucked. Absolutely fucked. Like I lost Wi-Fi for 24 hours, and it was not the one. The votes were quite good. It seems to be that mostly people are saying post Elon. I think that's a good call. All right, let's do a quick scour of the internet because my throat is almost done, and I'd like to be able to get back on tomorrow, so I don't want to outstay my welcome tonight. Is there anyone we can give a cheeky raid to? Anyone at all who's like a decent human being? Oh, is Paradox on? Paradox? Is Paradox on? Paradox has just jumped on. All right, hang on. Let me grab my Let me grab my. I'm sure Paradox just came on, or maybe I'm tripping. Hang on. Paradox the chat. Yeah, if we can get over to Master Paradox. I mean, it says I've got 38 in here now. I think some of those are on Twitter. Paradox, are you on or not? I know all too well about the Philippines internet. It wasn't. It's not so much that the internet's been consistent since I've been here, but there was the fucking mother of all storms last night. Like, you know, there was fucking. It looked like the world was ending. Let me see this. I'm going to jump over to you, Paradox, now because I don't think my throat's going to hold out much longer. Raid from Frank Snit. I cannot tell you how fucking happy I am to have Sniff in my chat these days. I don't mean to sound like a fanboy, but goddamn. All right, I think I'm gonna. So if anyone who's here, if you could jump over to Paradox, I'm sure he'd appreciate the love. Did you see Guru reading through Geordie's DMs? I've never. Somebody did send it to me. It's one of those ones there where you can't unhear that once you've heard it. Like, because I've heard rumors about what he said. I heard obviously about the shitting on the chest and that kind of stuff. But no, he was like talking about getting fucked with this dildo, and it was just like, oh my god, it was just so bad. It's actually incredible that he's been able to come back from that. I appreciate you, Westy, and thanks for stopping by as well. I'm going to be over in Paradox to Chad's stream now, so what I'll do is has it been pinned? Let me pin it real quick. Fucking hell, yeah, I'm dead on my feet here. Hang on a sec. Paradox the chat. There you go. All right, Paradox is up there. I really appreciate you hanging out on our yeah, much love, Lane. I really appreciate you boys hanging out. It's really much appreciated. Like I said, I haven't been on for a couple of days, so I've seen that as well. I'm jumping over to Paradox now as well, and I'll have a little break. Thanks so much for turning up as well, Sniff, Lane. Obviously Paradox making the walk. Shotty, Cayman Rider, Mountain Man. Thanks for stopping by, Dougie. I hope work's going well there, mate. Smelly Fingers, obviously you fucking legend as well. Westy, as always. I think Andy's gone home already. Daj. I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for turning up. It's been a nice one on a Sunday, man. I'm really enjoying these Sunday ones the most. They're just really chill crowd in here. But anyway, I love you boys. I'll probably be jumping on with Antoine at some point tomorrow. We'll talk about that and see what we can arrange. Guys, much love. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping by.